with technology?
I have one.
Okay, and Jessica is going to call on somebody from the chat.
Okay, looks like we have Alexandria first, and then Christina, and then Asaya.
Okay.
Okay, one problem that could be addressed with technology is littering. I guess if there was like more, like a better way of trash, like in public areas, maybe if there was like an electrical trash can or some sort of smart like recycling system, then there wouldn't be as much littering in like parts of Atlanta and like public areas of that nature. Yeah.
Thanks, Alexandria. We'll take one more. Christina, do you want to share?
Yeah, so I said homelessness in the chat, just because I think there should be a better way to solve that problem, especially if they're needing to charge devices, maybe using solar powered things would be a good idea. Being able to use technology in a sense of creating shelters like that can be broken down and taken anywhere without them having to carry too much. I think sometimes when we think of technology, we're just thinking of computers and code and stuff, but sometimes it can be how we use textiles and things like that. So just being able to reinvent the wheel.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Christina. And thank you everybody who participated. We really, really respect your contributions. You guys just sharing with us and showing courage and doing that. So I'm going to spend a few more minutes just talking to you all about hype in our programs. And then we have Kelvina Burrell, who will be our guest speaker for today. And she will share with you about setting SMART goals. Okay, so who is HYPE? HYPE's mission is to help young girls of color gain the skills and confidence that they need to pursue computer science careers. We also are a community of, like-minded peers and role models to help you along your journey of computer science. Our vision is to see a world where our girls see themselves as leaders in technology careers. We want our girls to understand that they can make valuable contributions to their communities and to the world through technology. And so the reason why we really focus on coding and computer science skills is because 58% of all STEM jobs are in computing and computer science specifically. So STEM careers are among the fastest growing and the highest paying occupations. And within all of the different careers that you can have within STEM, being science, technology, engineering, or mathematics, 58% of those jobs are in computing. Another reason why we want you to learn coding skills is because 91% of computing jobs are located outside of Silicon Valley. So I know when we think about entrepreneurship and tech startups and things like that, we think about Facebook and Microsoft and Google, and they are all on the West Coast, or a lot of tech startups that are in Silicon Valley. But even being here in Georgia, the majority of the jobs exist outside of what we might see or believe about technology and technology jobs. 67% of computing jobs are in non-tech fields. So that means you might be interested in medicine or art or entertainment or agriculture. And learning how to code can make you a more valuable contributor in a job that doesn't have to be specifically geared towards technology or software development. And then the last reason why is for the salary. The average salary of someone in a STEM career is $100,000, and that's coming into the career. And so we see coding and computer science as a way to really elevate individuals and families into the middle class and help them to create sustainable futures for themselves and their families. So out of the 500,000 open computing jobs that exist today, there are only 40,000 computer science graduates who earn a degree in computer science every year. So that means there are a lot of available jobs to you if you did choose computer science as a degree or a pathway. We say shoot your shot. You have a lot of opportunity, and the chances are very high that you will secure a job graduating college if you were to get a degree in computer science, because there are more jobs than degree holders right now. The reason why we focus on girls of color, and the reason why our programs and our curriculum is designed specifically with girls of color in mind, is because over half of the United States high schools don't offer computer science at all. And so many of these schools that don't offer computer science are your schools, your Title I schools, schools in majority minority communities, or in low-income neighborhoods. And so that means that a lot of our K through 12 students who go to these schools don't get exposed and don't have the opportunity to explore computer science for themselves. Another reason why is because of all of the AP computer science takers, only 4% of those are Black females. And so we have a lot of Black females and other girls of color who aren't taking AP computer science, and they're not taking the AP computer science exam. And so we want to be a part of really encouraging girls and helping them to gain skills and confidence and know that they can take AP computer science classes, pass the exams, and set themselves up for success in college. And then the last reason is because only 19% of students who receive computer science degrees are women. And of those women, only 2% are women of color. So again, we want to empower our girls of color to build a network for them so that they feel and understand that they belong in this space. And we want to change these statistics for good. And so one of the ways that we do it, that we do this, is through the HYPE project. The HYPE project is an after-school program for girls to join a community of supportive peers and role models where they learn computer science and they also grow as a leader. You get a chance to demonstrate your ability to make meaningful contributions to the world using technology. And so our next after-school program is going to be 100% virtual. Some of you may have already signed up for it, but we're kicking off our next after-school program next Tuesday, September 22nd. We're going to be meeting online. We're starting at 3:15. The sessions are going to be about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes long. And we're going to explore different computer science languages. You'll work on real project-based projects and applications. You'll have access to a diverse crew of role models and guest speakers. And then you also, upon graduating, get a chance to be a part of our exclusive alumni benefits. And so we talked a little bit about this at the beginning of the session, that we have 5 profiles that we want all HYPE scholars to exhibit and to learn and to grow in. Those are courage, creativity, community, curiosity, and celebration. And so everything that we do, they align with one of our 5 HYPE scholar profiles. And by the time that you graduate and complete the HYPE project, you would have developed and grown, and you'll be able to see and share how you've increased your skills or your proficiency or your competency in one of these 5 profiles. This is just kind of like what a day in the life looks like if you join our HYPE project and our after school program. We kick every program off with an icebreaker and a con activity, which is called our way of saying a connection activity. Then we have a She Is Me discovery session where we'll learn and highlight a woman in technology. We'll go through a short live tutorial to introduce a new computer science concept, and then you'll have 30 minutes to work in groups or on a project where you apply this new computer science project to a HYPE community impact project. Over the course of your entire time in our session, so over 12 sessions, you're building a community impact project, and every week or in every session that we meet, you are adding on to your final project by using the new computer science concept that was introduced for that session. And then at the end of the session, we have a HYPE reflection time where you get a chance to talk to the other girls in the group, share maybe a challenge that you overcame that day, or answer a HYPE reflection question that is given to the entire group. At the end of the program, we have an impact celebration where we have a graduation. You'll be able to share your HYPE impact projects. We'll have a guest speaker, and then we'll also have a representative from the cohort who speaks and shares on behalf of their cohort what this experience was like for them and what they've learned. Again, celebration is one of our 5 HYPE Scholar profiles. And so we end every program with a fun and exciting time to celebrate everything that you've been able to accomplish and to share with family and friends what you've learned. Some of the alumni perks include becoming a part of our HYPE network, getting access to internship opportunities and leadership development opportunities with mentors, and being able to participate in our HYPE International Experience. Now, the HYPE International Experience is for our high school HYPE alumni, and it's a chance for you to go overseas and lead a 1-week coding camp for other students who might live in under-resourced communities. Now, of course, we will have to wait until travel is safe again and we've kind of bypassed the season that we're in right now. But in the past, we've taken international experience trips to both Nicaragua as well as Jamaica. And we are targeting going to other countries like Ethiopia, Haiti, and South Africa in the future. And so now I believe we have Kelvina here. So Awesome. So I'm going to introduce our guest speaker for today. We're really excited to have Kelvina Burrell, who is a technology network manager at AT&T. Kelvina automates and streamlines various processes for improved performance through analyzing key learnings for improvement and implementing technology solutions. She regularly works to improve productivity for her business by managing multiple cloud servers, databases, and applications. Kelvina is a computer information systems and finance graduate and degree holder from Georgia State University. So I am going to stop sharing. I believe that Kelvina has slides that she will be sharing as she talks to us today about SMART goals, how you can set them, and how you can use your goals to accomplish some of the things that you're looking to accomplish this year as well as in your future.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for that introduction, Ms. Christina. So today I had a little bit of technical difficulty being able to share my own slides. I think one of our coordinators is going to share on my behalf today. So whenever you guys have that ready, just let me know. But we can go ahead and get started. One, she's kind of giving you guys a quick introduction of myself, my educational background. So I did go to Georgia State University here in Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm happy to talk about my college experience if you guys would like to hear about that today, or my job as well. But today I'm here to speak with you all about SMART goals. How many of you have heard of SMART goals before, or is today your first time hearing about this concept or idea? Anybody? You can type in the chat or just speak.
I have.
You have? Okay. Anyone else?
I've heard about it too.
Okay, awesome. So some of you are really, really smart. You guys already have the structure already in place. So you've already heard about it, you know about it. Awesome. So for some who may be on the call who do not know about it or are not aware about the overall ideology around SMART goals, I would share SMART goals is an acronym that represents key areas that you can use to structure your goal. And those key areas include being specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound, right? So each of these things, if you include each of these components when you're thinking about your goal and what you're trying to accomplish, each of these will help you in doing that. So before I delve too far into that, I'd like to know a little bit from you guys as far as why should you use SMART goals? You know, why should you use a SMART goal versus maybe a regular goal? Or is there a reason why one would want to implement the SMART goals strategy versus others? No. But no worries. I will share with you the number one thing that I think SMART Goals does, as I mentioned, is it helps you give you an idea of how to set up your goal. It will help you understand how to structure your goals. You're more likely to obtain your goals when you have a plan in place. It helps you kind of create that plan. And as we mentioned, so specific. When you're being specific, that means you want to define what your goal is. That's anything, that could be anything for you. It could be whatever your desired outcome is, you want to define what that will be. And an example of that would be graduating school with a certain GPA, or learning a new instrument, and or learning about a new sport or technology. So you want to be specific in what you are actually trying to accomplish. Then you want to measure the outcome. You want to know how well you're doing along the way, if you've accomplished that or not. So the best way to do that is to measure that goal. And we're going to go over an example with drinking water so you can kind of understand this concept a bit better. The third area is being attainable. You want to know how likely it is for you to obtain your goal. Is it something that you can do within your skill set, right? So a quick example is, so if although there are very few things that you probably don't have the skill set for, but let's say you can't swim, well, then it's going to be pretty difficult for you to join a swim team. Of course, you could take a class and whatnot to build that skill set, but if you don't have it already, then it's going to be hard to do it. Let's say join a swim team next week, right? So, but maybe long term, you're able to do it. So your time frame does matter, and that's the last area, is time bound. You have to create a timeline or a deadline that will help you structure your goal. And the other area is relevant. How realistic is it for you to obtain your goal? So again, it kind of relates back to that other point of attainable, and that it's realistic for you to actually obtain your goal. Okay. So some food for thought. These are some of the questions I was thinking for you guys as I was thinking through maybe some things you would consider as you start to implement this in your own lives. As I mentioned, really think about what's important to you, or why that goal is important to you. So let me pause here. What are some goals that you guys have, or things that you want to accomplish maybe within the next year or the next few weeks? Are there any goals that you guys have in mind today?
To graduate middle school with all A's.
Ooh, that's an excellent one. I love that. Awesome. Anyone else?
One of my goals to accomplish within the year is to be, I guess, deeper in the career that I want to be in, which is part of the reason that I joined this program.
Mhm.
So, like, basically, so I can know like what I'm doing with my life, because I'm an 11th grader at this point. So yeah.
That's interesting. Do you have an idea of that career? And I won't go too far, but what 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 was that career? Or did you?
Well, it's my mom really wants it to be in computer science. So
Yes.
I also do kind of enjoy it. So I'm just trying to, like, I guess, get the feel for it, like,
Mhm.
because I know that they're gonna be like professional speakers, I guess you could say, or professionals in
Yes.
this field. So I know that that's gonna like look good on my resume. So
Oh, awesome. Okay. Well,
Um,
that's anyone else? Go ahead.
I have
I
my goal would probably be to expand my business this year.
You said to expand your business. So you have a business already.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, awesome. Congrats. Go girl. Entrepreneur on the line. Okay.
for me, within the next 6 months, I want to reach 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube.
Okay. I love that. 1,000 subscribers. It can change overnight too. So keep working at it. Any other goals?
So I
Any?
want to see if I can hit 5K followers on my hair page.
Mhm.
I'm a natural hair influencer,
Oh,
and
awesome.
yeah, I'll say by the end of this year.
Awesome. I think you can do it.
One
Keep
of my
working.
goals is to be a faster runner.
To be a what runner?
Faster runner.
A
So
faster runner. You're on a track team or?
cross country.
Cross country. Awesome. Even better. Awesome. Okay. Cross country runner. Would love that. Any other ideas? I don't want to stop anyone. Okay. Well, I heard some awesome ideas on the line here. So you guys have some goals in mind. So I should have known that I'm dealing with a lot of goal-oriented and ambitious women, young ladies on the line. So I wanted to, I guess, roll into, so now that we have an idea of some of the things that you guys have in mind, are there people that maybe you admire, or people that have maybe done the things that you want to do? Do you have people that you have in mind or admire to that you want to be like one day? Or could you name a couple, some of you, people that you admire? Or go ahead.
Oprah.
Who?
Oprah.
Oprah. Oh yeah, I love Oprah. Me too. Anyone else?
Michelle Obama.
Michelle Obama. Awesome. I love her too. Okay.
Maya Angelou.
Maya Angelou. Yes. You're naming all the good, like great people. So I'm sure there are others on the line. But I guess we can delve into that a little later as well. But the reason I mentioned that is because a lot of the people that you mentioned, they have used SMART goals in one form or another to be where they are. They were able to set a goal for themselves similar to the ones that you have mentioned here on this line: getting good grades, becoming a faster runner, getting additional subscribers, or even expanding your business. I think that these are all things that are within your realm to obtain. And the way that they were able to do that is by using something similar to the SMART goals, where they were able to create a goal for themselves and also set up a plan to achieve those goals. All right, so awesome. The next thing I wanted to mention is, so I was going to kind of walk you guys through a quick example for you guys to kind of see maybe what it's like to set up a SMART goal. And this is one that I think all of us have maybe tried to accomplish, or maybe would want to accomplish at some point, is about drinking water. And then after this, we're going to kind of practice with some of the goals you've shared today. So one is, I guess your first step as far as setting up a SMART goal is to decide what it is you want to accomplish. So for me, for this activity, my goal is to drink more water. And as you may have heard, a lot of people suggest that you drink 8 glasses of water 8 times a day. So this is just common. I think most people recommend it. And if you do so, you'll be a healthier person. One way for that to be measurable is 8 glasses 8 times a day. So then you know the amounts that you're going to be drinking, as well as the frequency of how often you'll be doing that. This also translates with school, how many hours you're going to study, how many times you're going to post content for the people who are have YouTube channels, and or people who are running, how many times a week are you going to run, or things like that. So you want to think about how to quantify your goal or add numbers to it, how many times you can do it, and how often you may do it. So really consider that. So being achievable, thinking about the access, how likely is it to occur? And typically you all have access to water, maybe access to a water bottle, or cup. So you have the access to what's necessary or the requirements needed to achieve your goal, right? And then you have a purpose, right? So before you start your goal, you want to make sure it's relatable to you and it's meaningful to you. So really understanding the purpose behind your goal will help you to obtain it as well. And lastly, as I mentioned, having a time frame in place, whether it's 8 glasses of water 8 times a day for a week, and then evaluate yourself at the end of the week to see how you've done. And then if you've somehow come to the end of your goal and you don't understand, and maybe you haven't made the goal, then maybe adding to your time frame, because sometimes we have unrealistic time frames. You know, as I mentioned earlier, maybe you want to join the swim team next week, but you don't know how to swim today. It's going to be pretty difficult to do that. But with a longer time horizon, you're more likely to obtain that goal. And even, I guess, graduating from school, you probably have a set deadline for that, or a deadline for how you're going to do before a race, right? So there are some deadlines that are already created for you, but sometimes you'll have to create those deadlines yourself. All right. So with that in mind, I guess I'll ask, do you guys have a better idea of what SMART goals are, and maybe how to set up one? Because I want to ask you guys to kind of get in here as well.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So with some of the things that you guys, I want to do a quick activity with you all. If you guys have a piece of paper or something that you can kind of write on, or even, I guess you can take notes on your phone if you like. But I just want to do a quick activity with you all to see if you can set up your own SMART goal. As you all shared earlier in this conversation, some of the goals that you've had. I really love the goals that you all shared, and maybe a couple people did not share their goals, which is okay. We want to kind of walk through this framework together. So if you could just maybe pull out a piece of paper real quick, or if you have a notebook, that'd be great. A blank sheet of paper, anything. We kind of want to walk through this together, so maybe you're more likely to obtain your goal. And also, if you have questions about any of the steps as we kind of walk through it together, okay? So the first thing you want to do is list out your goal. So maybe at the top of your paper, you want to list out what your goal is. And I heard some really great goals. Obtaining additional subscribers and followers, graduating school with all A's, which is amazing, and also running, becoming a faster runner. Of course, you're going to be awesome. And then also expanding your business. These are all really great goals. So be specific about what that is, what you're actually trying to accomplish. And so before we move on from there, I want to ask if it's specific enough, right? So sometimes we have very generic goals. It could be very broad. So when you're being specific, you want to say, is this as clear as possible, right? You want to be as clear as possible when you're talking about your goal. And when I mean this is what kind of things you need to do to obtain that goal, or what's required for that area. So just decide what the goal is. So list that at the top of your paper. The next thing you want to do is list how you're going to measure your progress. How do you know if you're doing well or not? How do you know if you're getting to your goal, or you're closer to obtaining that goal? So let's say for the goal of getting better grades, you want to be mindful of how much time you're spending studying for your class, or you want to measure how often you do your homework after school, right? So hopefully it's 100%. You guys knock it out every time. Always do your homework, but definitely how much time you spend reading the material for your class or doing the homework. So think about that. Evaluate how you're going to do for your goal, as well as even a runner, right? You want to measure how often you're running. What are your metrics, right? How fast are you going today? Is there a way that you can improve your speed or whatnot? Because I know you say you want to run faster, and typically to do that, you have to run training exercises, right? So how many of those will you complete every week? Or how often will you do that? How long, right? Is it going to be 10 minutes? Do you have an hour to spare? Things like that will be things to keep in mind for those goals. And even for our subscriber people, right? You want to evaluate yourself for content that you're sharing with your base or your audience, right? So typically yours may be, all right, I want more subscribers. One way you can evaluate how you're doing, or things that you can make action on, is how many videos you're putting out there, or how websites you're putting out there. You want to just have a value or a number that you can correlate to make sure that you're going to meet your goal. Third area here is it possible? Is your goal realistic, or is it unrealistic, right? And sometimes you need to research to understand the possibility of this, right? So you have to have a good idea of what you're able to do today with your parents' help or not, or what resources you would need to accomplish this goal. So really think about, is it possible for me to obtain this in the time frame I've shared? Yeah. And just think about that and really try to make it realistic. Don't give yourself something unrealistic. I don't want to say what's unrealistic, but let's say you're like, hey, I want to make $1 million tomorrow. It's possible, but maybe not realistic for tomorrow, but it's possible. So you very well could, you're right. But let's say you want to make it more down to earth is my point. So with the possibility, just make sure it's realistic in your expectation. And even for studying, right? You're not going to study 24 hours a day, every single day, right? You want to be realistic. 1 to 2 hours, maybe after school would be fine. And, it just depends on your situation. So, and also making it meaningful. Number 4. So if you've written down maybe if a realistic steps or a plan for yourself, then think about the meaning. So the reason why I mention this, or your purpose, is because your purpose is going to keep you focused. When you feel like quitting and you don't want to do it, and let's say you started off really strong at the beginning of the year, like a lot of people with their New Year resolutions, they start strong, but then they don't continue. So having a meaning and purpose behind your goal of why you're trying to achieve that goal, really. So list that now. Why you're trying to achieve this goal, right? Whether it's to make yourself proud, make your parents proud. You want to be the best runner out there. You want to be the best student possible, or you want to be the most well-known influencer on your social media, right? So that's a goal. But really understand the meaning behind it. Why is that important? Why is it meaningful for you? So write down why that is meaningful for you. And the last area here is set a deadline or a time frame. So when do you plan to get this accomplished, right? And you can set up milestones as well. So like checkpoints along the way to achieving your ultimate goal. So as a young lady mentioned, she wants to get all A's by the end of middle school, but that looks very different from, I guess, each grade level, right? So you may have a checkpoint at the end of 6th grade, another one at the end of 7th grade, and you may not even wait that long. Let's say you wait to the end of the semester or end of the term, and then you would evaluate how well you've done, right? Typically, they give you a report card to let you know your performance, but you can always evaluate yourself, right? How well you're doing at each and every test and quiz and whatnot. Or you can evaluate yourself with the running model. Let's say you run at the end of the week, you can time yourself and see how quickly you ran and how much you've improved. You want to really just keep track of how well you're doing. So time yourself pretty regularly. And as I mentioned, kind of do some of those exercises that may improve your performance. And then do that a certain amount of times and then see if that's helping or if you need to do something different to improve. So with that, would anybody like to share their SMART goal, like some of the things from each of these areas? Or did you guys need more time before? Let me pause. Do you guys need time to write this down? Or
I think I
Yes.
can.
anybody want to share? Anybody?
I'll share.
Oh, awesome. Go.
Okay. Basically, okay. So I already said my goal was to reach like 1,000 subscribers within the next 6 months.
Yes.
So by doing that, I said that I would continue to measure the amount of subscribers that I'm gaining every month, and I will. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I divided the amount of subscribers that I need by 6 months to like see how many I need to gain every month at least, and then I said that I would continue to check engagement on videos to see like what I need to do to increase engagement to like a number. And I post 2 times a week, so I said I'll stay consistent with that, and I would keep track of the views that I'm getting on every video. So like, yeah.
Oh, awesome. Did you have a time frame? Oh, you said by. Did you have a time frame? When's the deadline? You say you do it twice a week? Go ahead.
Within the next 6 months.
Oh, 6 months. Okay, awesome. 6 months. So in 6 months, you're going to double your subscribers. Yes, you did say that. Okay. 100. You're going to have 100 subscribers. 100 more. Okay. Anyone else want to share their SMART goal?
I wrote down some stuff that I heard. So you said make your goal more specific. So I said get all A's throughout middle school. And then I said to make, why would I want to get all A's? To make like to get, what's it called, more scholarships for college. So one of my family members, they got $3 million in scholarships, I
Oh,
think.
awesome.
And they attend Georgia Tech. So that's like the lead I'm going towards. So like he didn't have to pay for anything for school.
Oh, awesome.
That's what I'm leading towards. And that's one of the reasons why I did it. So for college, and like the time limit for middle school, and that's all I really heard for the SMART goal.
Okay. That's awesome, though. Getting scholarships is so important. It's something I wish I had gotten more of. I did get a scholarship for school, but definitely $3 million is awesome. And I think you can do it for sure.
Thank you.
Yes. Anyone else would like to go?
We have an excellent SMART goal from Alyssa in the chat. Alyssa, you want to share out loud, or I can read it for you?
Sure, I'll share it out loud. My goal is to make at least a 26 or higher on the ACT exam. By doing this, I will dedicate an hour every day to study, practicing, or refreshing myself for the exam, as well as watching videos.
Oh, yeah. I think that is going to be awesome. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Do we have anyone else that wanted to share?
For my
She's in the ACT. Go ahead.
SMART goal, I want to expand my business because by the time I'm 18, I will not want to work for anyone. So if I expand my business now, by the time I get 18, I have enough money to start major corporations and make more money with it.
So what's the measurable, how will you measure your success with expanding your business?
I'll plan annual profits to see how much I make about each month. So I'll do 1 month how much I'm making this month, and next month how much I'm making this month. So I'll basically calculate and get to see how much I can make in a year.
Okay. Okay. So you're going to see how much you make. Because to me, the profit is a result more so than an action you're doing to make that result happen. You see, because when I'm drinking water, that's an action I take to affect the result. So I would just encourage you to think about what actions you can take to improve those profits or acquire the goal that you're seeking. So just think through your actions, like things you can do, like whatever that is, right? Whether it's sell more, advertise more, or connect more with customers. Just think through things you can do more so than, okay, I just want this outcome, So really think about that. Okay. Wait. And you said time frame. What's the time frame for expanding your business? I know you said you're just gonna look at annual profit, so I guess 1 year is your time frame?
Yeah, 1 year.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. I like that.
And Aaliyah wants to go next.
Go, Aaliyah.
Okay, so I didn't fill in like all the individual like the I didn't fill in the A for it because I really couldn't think of anything, but I still wanted to share. So my smart goal was to basically network, I don't know how to say it, with people that are in the same career field that I'm looking into. And so for the specific one, I put myself out there and like get involved in programs.
Mm-hmm.
And then the measurable part, I wasn't like really sure what that meant, like specific to this. So I just put, I guess I can measure it by what I learned from them. I guess I don't really know if that like makes sense. But for the R, I put if it's relevant, more likely chance to be successful and being accepted into college. So that's how it's relevant to me. And the time bound is before I graduate high school. Like to at least have networked with a few people or
Mm-hmm.
learn something about it. That's all.
Okay. No, I love this. And I wanted to mention, I guess, for the measurable piece, you really want to think through, I guess, how many people can you reasonably reach out to, right? It could be people that you already know, maybe people your family knows, or people that we know or your host knows, right? So especially whatever career field you're trying to be, let's say you wanted to be a lawyer. Well, then one thing you could do is maybe say, okay, I want to talk to 2 people every week about being a lawyer. And you can start off with your mom, and you can ask your mom, like, do you know any lawyers? Or like, do you know anybody in our family that's in the legal field, right? And you can start there. Or you can start with someone at your church or somebody, well, you guys aren't in church. Okay. Well, you can also start with your host here and ask them if they know anybody in that field and keep asking. And then when you do meet with this person, ask them to give you 2 more people. That way it just makes your job a little easier. You're like, hey, I met with someone my mom recommended, and they gave me 2 more people that I can talk to. So just make that your measurable goal, the amount of people maybe. Well, it could be just one a week or one a month. Depends on you. Okay. That's it. Uh, did someone else have another SMART goal that they'd like to share?
And we probably have
I
time.
have 2.
Oh, sorry.
Who said that?
I did, Alyssa.
Okay, Alyssa, you can go ahead and share, and that'll probably be the last one that we can take today before we do Q&A and wrap up. But Alyssa, we'll let you go ahead.
Okay, so I said this in the chat, but I said I want to graduate high school with the 4.0 GPA, major in nursing, preferably at a HBCU. The way to maintain this is I'm on track with my credits as well as taking classes to increase my GPA and taking advantage of dual enrollment. And by being involved in student activities and keeping up with my grades.
Oh, awesome. I love this. How are you going to measure your success? How do you measure your success to getting this all A's and being ready to go to nursing school at HBCU? How would you measure your progress?
I do a lot of research like on the college and what they like require, as well as watching like my own set of videos to figure out what type of field of nursing I'll go into and like what it takes to be a nurse, as well as keeping up with my grades, so making sure like all my assignments are turned in on time, asking questions when I need to ask questions, getting assistance when I need assistance.
Oh, awesome. I love that. I think you have it kind of listed out for sure.
All right.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you, ladies. Thank you, Kelvina. Do you guys y'all were very interactive today, so I'm really impressed and excited. But do y'all have any specific questions for Kelvina?
Yes.
Sure. Go ahead.
How long have you been working at AT&T?
Okay.
Oh, and sorry. And would you ever like think about making your own business instead of working for someone?
Yes. Yes and yes. So one, I have been working for AT&T for 8 years, and as far as would I like to have my own business, yes, I recommend all of you try your hand at entrepreneurship. I see one young lady on the call who's already started her business, and she can definitely give you guys insight into that process. But I would love to have my own business one day, and yeah, I will definitely have to take some time to start that process because it does take some time to do. But yeah, I would recommend it all day.
Okay.
Any other questions? It could be anything. You can ask about college, work, SMART goals, advice, anything.
So what advice would you give when it comes to like applying to like colleges
Mm-hmm.
and like
Oh,
how to figure out what's the best fit for you?
oh, sure. Well, actually, I was going to share my presentation about scholarships at one point, and someone mentioned that was one of their goals. I think for colleges, the number one thing you want to do is figure out what you want to do when you graduate, right? So if you want to be a lawyer, you may want to check out what school has the best law program. If you'd like to become a doctor, then you want to check out what school has medical programs or connected to medical school. So one, you want to make sure that they have the major that you're looking for and that they're well respected and well known, at least in that area. So I would say first, see if they have the major that you're looking for. And then number two, I would ask people I know to see if they knew anybody who went to that school to get an idea of what it's like to be on campus. I know it's going to be difficult with COVID, but let's say COVID's not going to be here forever and you do get a chance to go to the campus. That's an awesome opportunity for you to learn about the school and to see if you're a good fit. And then, of course, do your research online. Make sure that you see what kind of SAT scores or ACT scores they're looking for, as well as what's necessary to apply for that school. Whether it's a college essay, you have to complete something online, or things of that nature. So really think through those things um, when looking for a school. Oh, also, last thing I mentioned, the programs on campus. See how active the student life is. That's another great thing about being in college is you get to be involved in clubs and activities like you would in high school or middle school, right? Track team or art club, whatever you're interested in, they have those activities there. So research those as well.
Hi, I have just a comment and sort of a question. My name is Portia Brown, and I just want to say hi to Christian, or I think this hype program is wonderful, and it's really needed, and it's just amazing, and I'm glad that you created this. And then Kelvina, I don't know if you remember me, but we went to Georgia State together,
Yeah.
and
I
yeah.
thought it was interesting. Go ahead.
Yeah, Miss GSU. I remember that was like the last time I seen you. But anyways, so my question is, I know I think I heard you got your degree in finance, or like in business. And so if I'm wrong, just correct me. But I wanted to know what made you turn to technology, a technology career.
Oh, sure. So when I was at Georgia State, I had a dual major. I started as a computer information systems major, so I guess I was technology focused from the beginning. What made me interested in technology was at the time I had been creating like the social media pages for my friends and whatnot. So back in my day, right, MySpace, which no longer exists today, but when MySpace first came out, you had to do a lot of coding for that, for your pages and whatnot. So I did those pages for my friends and whatnot. So it made me interested in what happens behind the computer and things like that. So that's why I was interested in technology, learned a lot about it, loved it. So I continued on with it. For getting into finance, I love learning about money too. So I guess I had a dual passion, which explains why I had two majors, because I like learning about money, and I also like learning what happens behind the computer, what makes it tick. So I like both of those aspects.
Cool. Thank you.
Mhm.
I have a question.
Sure.
What is the process for you to apply for a scholarship? Like, I sometimes don't understand how you apply for it.
hmm Awesome. I think that's an excellent question. One, I recommend everyone here on this call, if you're still in school, please apply to scholarships as soon as possible. The first thing I would do is do a little bit of research. Look into the university that you're applying to. They sometimes offer scholarships through the school you're applying to. Another way for you to do this is just do a quick Google search, right? That's the first step to everything, right? Google it. See if you can Google there. But there are other things you can do, like talk with your parents to see if their employer offers scholarships to the kids there, because sometimes that's an option. I know at AT&T, we don't necessarily offer the scholarship as a company, although the company does have a scholarship for students. Please apply if possible. But we have organizations called ERGs, Employee Resource Groups. They offer scholarships on behalf of the company, and so you can research different companies for scholarship opportunities. There was a website at one point called FastWeb, and I don't know if it still exists, right? I'm a little bit older. I don't know if that still exists out there, but FastWeb was one at one point that you could have applied for scholarships. The best thing to do is, one, make sure that you do a research, find a scholarship, review it, make sure that you qualify. So they may be looking for a specific GPA. You want to make sure you meet those requirements. Or if they ask for a teacher recommendation, make sure you have that. So make sure you read the requirements and apply. Apply for as many as you can, as often as you can, is what I would say.
Yeah, and I'll jump in and also share. I for every scholarship that you see that you think you might eligible for, because there are a lot of scholarships out there that no one applies for. There are a lot of scholarships that go they don't give it out to students because they don't get enough applications. And then in the chat, we also talked about Scholly. So if you visit myscholly.com, that's MYSCHOLLY.com, you can create like a profile, and it has a database of thousands of scholarships. And you can create your profile and it will match you with different scholarships that you might be eligible for. So I would recommend going to that app and using that as well.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. It's in the chat as well. Any other questions?
Okay, well, I just want to thank Kelvina again for joining us. I know that we are, that we do need to wrap up. And so thank you. The chat has been lively. The students have been amazing. And so I am going to just kind of finish this off with some next steps if you are interested in HYPE. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the call, if you were on, we have a new group of HYPE scholars who will be starting next Tuesday. And so if you have not applied yet, there is still time to apply to join the program. It kicks off next Tuesday, again, at 3:15. We'll be meeting virtually. If you visit gethype.org/hype-project, which we have on the screen here. If you visit that website, you'll see the link to apply. You'll complete your Google form, and then we will follow up with you to get you onboarded and started with our next cohort of girls, which is starting next Tuesday. And so that is all that I have. I want to thank all of you for joining. This has been amazing. We are doing our She Is Me Women in Tech speaker series for the next 3 weeks. And so we'll be here at the same time, same place next Thursday, and for the following 2 Thursdays after that. In order to get the Zoom link for that, you want to visit our Eventbrite page and register, and then you'll get the Zoom link and you'll be able to join. We'll also be live streaming from our Facebook page, which is at gethype.inc. So thank you all so much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.